Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. We're back out in the RV today. We've installed our new lights on the top. Y'all saw that on one of our previous videos. We've got all of our wiring that's exposed in here. And being we're going to be installing insulation over this, what our agenda is, we don't like wires just hanging loose. So we've got zip ties here. We're going to be zip tying the wiring up nice and neat before we actually put the styrofoam in to seal it off. We've got we've got all the leaks stopped that we know of right now. We hadn't had any more, so we feel pretty confident that we can start moving forward now with replacing some of the paneling in here and insulation, because we want this thing insulated way better than what it was. So that's where we're headed right now. We're going to kind of take our wires and bunch them up. We're going to try to get them zip tied together as much as possible so that they're not just thrown around everywhere. I feel more confident about it if they're together. And then we're going to back up here. Give us a couple more zip ties. Let's see if we can pick our wiring up. I know if we ever have to take the lights out to work on them, this might be an issue. We'll have to worry about that when the time comes. We're hoping we don't have to do that anymore. Okay guys, now that we've got our wires zip tied up here, got the zip ties done down here, we're going to go ahead and start working on our insulation, getting it ready to go in. We're going to be using 1/2-inch styrofoam insulation with some spray foam in behind it where it's needed at. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to get our measurements here. And we're going to take and we're going to draw it out on our styrofoam here. Okay. So we can't mark it here with our hand a little bit. That way I want a good tight fit. Now that we have it marked, I will take my pocket knife and cut it. And styrofoam will dull the knife real quick, so alright, this has aluminum foil on it also, so we're going to allow the aluminum foil to stick out in here. And we may have to, our wiring in behind it is going to hold it out a little bit, going to cause it to bow some, and the fact that we got it cut real tight too. So, there we go. I think we'll be good to go with that. We're going to keep working our way across until we have it all in, and then we'll get back with you and show you a little bit about what it looks like to have the whole wall done. Okay guys, just want to give you a little update, kind of show you how we're coming. We've got half the back wall done, up the top part anyway. Fixing to move down into that area right there. We will get back with you and show you when we get that done. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but we're going to get it. And we're going to get her sealed off. Okay, we've got the whole back wall now insulated with the styrofoam insulation. We're going to be moving on to the sidewalls next, trying to get that taken care of, or maybe even the ceiling. We're not sure yet, but we're glad to get this part done. A little trick that we used to keep the styrofoam from pushing too far in is we drove little tiny nails on the back side of the board, because the boards are 3/4 inch thick, the styrofoam is 1/2 inch thick. We put little tiny nails on the back side so that the styrofoam could not push out the back side anywhere that it might. That kind of helped, kept to hold it in place there. So we're glad to get to this point with the RV. We'll be moving forward with it, guys. We'll keep you posted. Okay, now that we've done a lot of the insulating on the back wall and finished it up, we're going to start working on the cargo bay area here. Now, since we've redesigned this, the cargo bay area will have a little bit of a different shape to it. We don't have all the plywood to finish it, but we're going to do what we can do with what we have on our stockpile here at Deep South Homestead. We're trying to do this on as much material as we have here without actually having to go out and sink a bunch of money into something. We believe in using up what we have before we actually go to purchase anything. So this is what it looks like right now, and in a minute I'm going to show you the new additions that we put onto it and a little bit about, maybe you can see some of the shape of the design that we're going to be using. Okay guys, we use a system here called a CRAZY system when we putting this trailer together. We found it to be one of the better systems to use as far as being able to get screws in, and it's called a CRAZY system. If y'all watch me, you'll kind of see. I'm going to drill a couple of holes and give you an idea of about how the system works. Now you have a pair of vice grips here, and there's a tool here that you adjust to adjust for the length of screw. Now we're using an 1¼ inch screw. What you do is you slide this up until the bottom part of this actually touches the plywood, and then you lock this down. And you can take your drill bit This is a special drill bit. It has a long point on it. It's real tiny, and then it gets larger up here. And it's got a depth gauge here set for the thickness of wood that you're drilling. I use this when I'm building any kinds of furniture, whether it's tables, cabinets, anything like that. To me, the CRAZY system is one of the best systems that there are. Now what happens when you get through with that, you want to turn it over and bump it. And what you've got is a pocket screw there, 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 and there, equally spaced out. Now I have a bit here that's a long bit, it has a square head on it, which is for a particular type of screw. Now CRAZY sells their own screws that fits perfectly in that pocket hole, and it's got a square head on it. Works fantastic for putting wood together with. I highly recommend it when you work on one of these motorhomes, because it's what all these walls in here are put together with. It's extremely strong and very durable. Now we're going to take the bit out of our drill. We're going to put in the other type of bit that comes with the kit. And where I've got wood joining like back here, I use a glue called Tight Bond glue. It is really good. I use it on cabinets and everything. It has never let me down. I always like to put glue on any kind of joint when I put wood together. It's just like, to me, it's like insurance. I'm going to squirt some on the floor here even, right where we're putting this together at. This stuff is some really good glue, non-toxic. What we'll do is we're going to set this down in the glue. Put that in place. Now, just to be safe, just to be sure, I have a framing square. I'm going to check to make sure that we're square. And we are. So that's what we wanted. Now these Craig screws, we make two different kinds of these. Some of them have fine threads and some of them have coarse threads. The fine thread ones are for hardwoods. The coarse thread ones are for softwood pine. So make sure if you go to buy these, you get the right screw for the right job. Fantastic. Pull it right down. It snugs it up real good. One of the best things you can do with one of these motorhomes. Gives you a rock solid bond. And on top of that, you see the glues mashing out around the edges. That's exactly what we want. Now, coming up this end here, I'm not going to use these type screws because it doesn't require that on the end. It requires a different type screw. So we're going to be using a regular 1.5" drywall screw on that particular side of it there. I have some of them here. They work out real good for that. They give you a good bond. And that's the first one, guys. We want to kind of give you a gist of how it's done. We're going to put the other one on and then we'll show you what it looks like. Alright, I've got this piece installed now. We've got our pocket hole screws down here. That's all in. This is good and sturdy. Not going nowhere. Now this offset I was telling y'all about, we're going to put a complete top to cover this and it'll be cut to match this right here. That will make our cargo bay area from the outside here. The reason this offset is here because there's going to be a wall that's going to go all the way to here and come all the way across the whole RV, and that's going to make the new bathroom because we want a larger bathroom. The wall will kind of sit in here like this right here to give you an idea, and it'll just stick straight on up to the ceiling, and the top of this will kind of come around here and turn and go around that. And what that'll do is that'll give a seating, not a seating bench, but that'll give an area inside here where we can build some shelves for towels and linen and stuff like that. It gives us a bigger area to have a vanity back here, a composting toilet, plus our tub and shower. We're going to put all that back in here. We're going to probably go with an on-demand gas hot water system instead of the kind that was in here. We're going to do away with all of what was in here. And we're just, it's just going to take us time. When we get more money, we will get the top to go on this. We'll get the plywood for the walls and show you a little bit more about what we're doing here. But until then, thank y'all for watching Deep South Homestead.